talk about 5 killer SEO tactics of yesterday that will get you killed today. Real quick, this is me. My name is Stoney, deGeyter, and I do web presence optimization, which is just a fancy way of saying search engine optimization, web marketing, social media, PPC, and all that. But really, it is all about the web presence, not just about any one thing. We try and optimize the entire web presence. You can follow me, social media there. Is that ring bothering anybody but me? It's kind of reverberating in my ears. All right, my book, go to webmarketingchecklist.com. I've got a couple copies here if anybody wants to buy one. They are going on sale on Amazon tomorrow. We're doing a 2-year anniversary sale. The book is remarkably, it's held up very well over the last couple of years. Very little has changed from what I've written there. And of course, there's my company, Pole Position Marketing, polepositionmarketing.com. All right, so we're going to talk about things that many of you are still doing as part of your web marketing search engine optimization campaigns that you shouldn't. I won't name any names, but you know who you are. So this is going to be an intervention. I want everybody to put your hand on the shoulder of the person next to you and say, it's okay, I'm here for you, we'll get through this together. All right? Okay, so there's 5 things that I want to talk about that I want to make sure that you all understand that, these used to be great tactics in the years past, and today things that we should no longer be doing. And then I'll tell you what you should be doing. So let's talk about keyword stuffing first. What is it? Keyword stuffing is basically when you do your keyword research, you find out what people are searching for, and you take those keywords and you just shove them into your content as much as you can. How many of you have done that? All right, the rest of you are liars. Or you're new to internet marketing. I've been doing this since 1998, so I've done my fair share of keyword stuffing over the years. And it's just, the concept is, hey, let's take these keywords and get them in there, and it worked because the search engines in the years past, they basically looked at how many times you were mentioning certain phrases. And so, the more you mentioned it, the more you got it in there in relation to how many words on the page and, keyword density and all that kind of stuff. It was a way for the algorithms to figure out what is your page about? What is your content about? Should this page rank for this keyword? Okay, we're looking at, we see these keywords on the page, right? Well, it doesn't work that way anymore. A couple of years ago, Google came out with the Hummingbird algorithm, which changed the focus from keywords to topics. So now keywords, they're not irrelevant, but they're not as relevant to what is the page about topically. What's going on, what is the message that you're trying to convey. So let's look at how do we kill a keyword optimization, forever. We don't want to do keyword stuffing. What do we need to do? Well, first of all, you focus on a topic. The topic does come from your keywords. But don't just look at getting that keyword in the content. Look at what is the content that needs to support that particular topic. And then you integrate your words into the content, organically. And you look at related words. And one of the things that we've done, even way before Hummingbird, my company, we looked at related words and put them into the content of the page. And it's not just so much about, hey, what are the keywords that people are searching for? The search engines are now looking at what are the other words that are related to that would round out the topic, that would be of interest. If you're talking about snow skis, well, it's hard to talk about snow skis without mentioning snow, or mountains, or weather, things like that. All of these are topically related, and if you're trying to build a good topical authority piece on snow skis, you've got to talk about some of these other things, or at least work them into your content. You want to go beyond the written word. Look for other ways to get content on your page, such as video, images, things like that. All of that matter can factor into building this topically authoritative page. Master the message. What is it you want people to do? What is it you're trying to get them to convey? Optimizers often focus on, hey, let's get rankings, but they don't often think about what comes after that. You got the rankings and maybe somebody clicks in the site, but what's next? Well, we have to be, as web marketers, we have to be thinking about what comes next. What do we want people to do? Do we want them to read the page and go, oh, that was great, good information, I learned something, and then leave? Or do we want to move them through a conversion process? You've got to master the message and get your visitors from point A to point B, C, D, E, F, G. And add supporting content. Anything that you can do to bolster that message, whether it's your content on a different page, maybe it's content on somebody else's page, maybe it's providing guarantees or supplemental information that is going to help convert people and turn them into a sale. Those are the types of content that you want to add. And again, it's all about building up that topic and building around that and making people, give them something of value when they come to your site. All right, link buying. I was just in Jim Boykin's presentation. Was anybody else in there? All right, he talked about links and link buying, and that's something that we used to do a lot. And I remember, it was probably 10 years ago, I was in a conference I was speaking at, and I was in the hallway, and somebody just got off the phone, and they said, I just bought 10,000 links. I'm thinking, holy crap. That had to have cost at least $10,000, if not triple that, to get 10,000 links. And that's what people were doing 10 years ago. They were buying links en masse, and usually it was a link going in a footer with the keyword in the anchor text. It was just about getting the quantity over everything else. And that's what killed, because search engines were basically counting links. Whoever got the most links, they got the best rankings. So you'd go out and you get as many links as you possibly could, as quickly as possible, and boom, you move up in the search results. It doesn't work like that anymore. Penguin update, Google basically killed unnatural links. Now, does that mean you can't buy links anymore? No. But you want to be very careful about how you get links. And Jim talked about ways to earn links, things that you can do. And there's a lot of different things you can do to earn links. But it really comes down to having something worthwhile to link to. Having content that's valuable, whether it's written content or tools or infographics or anything like that. You've got to have something worth linking to, and then you've got to promote it. And we talk about social media a lot, and there's debates whether social media helps your SEO or it doesn't help your SEO. Well, social media promotes your content. If you don't promote the content, you can't get links to your content, and you can't get eyeballs on your content, and you can't get people coming to your site. So, they may find you through Google, and you may get the link that values in Google, but you've got to use social media so people can find what they're looking for. It's a huge way for people to find information. If you are paying for links, I'll give you Google's advice is add the no follow tag so you don't get penalized, and you can follow that advice or not. I think there are ways around getting caught buying links. If you're not doing it in mass, you're doing it on a one-on-one basis, and you're not doing any link schemes, you can do pretty good buying links. But you want to do that at your own risk there. And then you want to share the love. You want to link to other resources. If you want people to link to you, well, you're going to have to link to them. If you want people to socialize your content, you're going to have to socialize their content. And it's not about getting a quid pro quo. It's about just doing something of value for your visitors and hoping that other people will do the same for their visitors, which will lead them back to you. So, it's kind of web karma. Do for other people, and it'll come back, they'll be doing that for you. But again, you have to have the content. You have to have the value there for them to do it. Don't expect to do something for somebody else or provide value, linking to somebody and go, gee, well, they didn't link back to me. Well, it's because your content sucks. You have to have something of value worth linking back to. All right, anchor text optimization. Everybody know what that is? That's where you get your keyword in your linked anchor text. And Jim talked about that a little bit. A lot of people buying links, that's what they would do, is they'd get that anchor text and get their keyword and go buy 10,000 links. Well, now it's done on a different scale. Well, maybe within your own site, you'll use the same keyword over and over again on different pages, all linking to a page you want to rank. It used to work, because that was a signal. They do look at the anchor text to see what the page is about that you're linking to. It's a signal and says, okay, this has value. Google could actually use anchor text to figure out what a page is about and put it in their rankings without actually ever visiting the page itself. It doesn't happen all that much, but there was a signal there. Now, the reason why it doesn't work anymore, it's just another form of spam. It's just repackaged spam. Google realized people were trying to manipulate the anchor text using the same thing over and over again. So they began penalizing for that, or at least devaluing those type of links. So what do we do now? What do we do for anchor text optimization? Well, it is still a signal. I mean, they still do look at anchor text, but there's some things that you want to do. You want to use, one of the best ways to use anchor text is within your navigation and within your breadcrumbs. In fact, navigation optimization is one of the most critical things that we often do when we optimize websites. Looking at the navigation, figuring out how the pages are mapped out and what the links say, and using keywords in those navigational links. And that is the one place where you do anchor text optimization all you want, because that's where it matters. It makes sense to do that. You're using those keywords in the links to the pages that are about that particular topic. And then you want to use links within your content naturally. Don't go overboard and just throw hundreds of links from every page to every other page in your content, but look for opportunities to link to other content within your own site. That's part of the sales funnel. What is it that people are looking for? Again, everything is about the customer, right? When they're on a page, and if you are talking about something else of value that can be found on a different page, link to it. Add that link and go ahead and use keywords in there without overdoing your anchor text optimization. But you want to avoid excessive manipulation. Don't go out and buy 10,000 links. Don't go out and buy 100 links. Just go and do your link building one at a time. Do it organically, do it naturally. If you are buying links still, keep that on a very small scale. So you're not tipping the scales between your natural link growth versus your unnatural link growth. You want it to be seamless, and Google, you don't want them to figure out what you're doing there. And don't use exact keywords in your anchor text over and over and over again. Switch it up. Add additional words in there. Don't just link your keywords, but link parts of a sentence that's relevant, that has a call to action in there that entices somebody to click over from one into the next. All right, link sculpting. Now, who is not familiar with the term link sculpting? All right, a few of you. Does everybody know what this is? This is a flow meter. We actually have clients that make these. Talk about sexy social media marketing right there. That's fun stuff. What a flow meter does is basically it measures the amount of fluid, liquid, gas, air going through pipes. And it can regulate it. It can, make it less, make it more, whatever. That's the job of the flow meter. Link sculpting basically did that. It takes all your links on your site and it says, well, I want link value to pass through these links, but not through these links. I want this page to get more link value than this page, even though I've got links going to that. So that's what link sculpting was. And for those of you who were around at the time, the no-follow attribute came out. When that came out, people were using that to sculpt their links. Now, it worked because basically this is what you see. Let's say we got a page here that has a value of 100, and I'm kind of just making stuff up, and it's got 2 links on that page, and each link passes half of the page's value into the pages that they're linking to. So that's normal link building right there. Well, the link sculpting says, look, let's put a no-follow on one of these links, so that 50 value gets rerouted over to the one remaining link, and now we're passing 100 value to the page that we want it to go to. All right, so that's what link sculpting did. And Google says it never worked. Many SEOs says it did for a while, but it doesn't work now, and it'll hurt you more than anything else today. Whereas instead of seeing this, where you put a no-follow on a link and it reroutes that other 50% of the link juice, or whatever value that link had, basically it does this, where it takes that link value and it just disappears. It's gone. It goes nowhere. So you are still getting the same value through the one link, but through the no-follow link, nothing is being passed through, and you're not getting any of that value preserved onto your website. So if you are using no follow links on your own pages, I suggest you stop, because you are losing link value. You are better off letting link juice go to this page here and letting that reroute it to other pages on the site, rather than just losing it in the thin air, the link value. So the no follow was intended for linking to sites that you do not trust. Use it for that. Don't use it for your internal linking in any way, shape, or form. All right, so basically we start with this, 2 links going 50-50, and you just want all links, all value going out through every, any link on your site should have the value going out. So how do we kill? Not a link sculpting, but a link architecture. Well, you can start with navigation. And again, I said that navigation is one of the most important things that we do when we optimize websites. It starts with not just figuring out what your keywords are and what pages you need to create for your visitors based on what they're searching, but it's how you organize your content. Any site that we work with and we do navigation optimization, we usually come up with a lot of new ideas for content that they didn't have based on what people were searching for. And we say, look, let's get these into your navigation. It's not redundancy, and we're not looking for, we have a page for flow meters spelt with 1 word, flow meters spelt with 2 words, 1 for plural, 1 for singular. That's not the idea of what we're looking for here. You're just looking for, good content, ways to present information that the visitors are looking for based on their searches. And link architecture starts with the navigation. We also have a tool that my team developed called WP Function Links. The idea for this is it hides the link, and we don't want to do that for anything that is a page to your site, but use it on things that are functions. And here's a list of some things that basically they're not linking to pages, they're doing a job. You click that hyperlink, there's link juice passing through it because it is a hyperlink. This plugin hides the hyperlink so that it can do the function without trying to pass any link juice. So you're adding something to the cart. That's not really going to a web page, that's doing a function. So you want to add something like this that will hide the link itself so Google's never even seeing it. So that's another option there. And all right, thin content. What is it? How many of you have seen pages where people basically take the same content and just swap out the keyword and produce 50, 100 pages or so? Has anybody done that? All right, somebody admitted it over here. I've seen that done, and my team might have done that years and years and years ago. But I was never a big fan of that, no matter what. I mean, it doesn't provide any value to the visitors if they were to go from page to page. And that's what people were doing. Why did we do that? Because Google said, hey, look, I like content. And we go, oh, content's king, we need to produce content. So people were out there producing, content after content, pages and pages of articles that were, 300 words. And there was whole sites built on that model of having very, very poorly written content just to bring people in from search results so they could sell advertising. And they made millions of dollars bringing people in selling advertising through Google AdWords. But eventually Google got around saying, look, we don't want that. This is not valuable content. It's not providing anything. So you add, if you're looking at content for the sake of adding content, if you're not focusing on the value of the content, it will get you killed today. And so I talked earlier about topical optimization rather than keywords. Well, if you're building content, again, you've got to make it valuable. And how do you do that? Well, figure out the topic that you want to write about and create as robust a piece of content as you possibly can. Or many pieces of content focusing on a different aspect of that topic overall. But again, every piece of content needs to be valuable. Now, not everything has to be a home run. We all know sometimes we write crap and we publish crap. I'll admit to that. I don't mean to, but sometimes you just have an off day and you put it out there anyway. And oftentimes, honestly, it's the articles, the blog posts that I hated the most are the ones I get comments on. People saying, "Oh man, I needed that. That was great." Okay, because again, I'm not trying to produce junk. I'm trying to produce value, and maybe I just wasn't feeling it, but somebody else did. They read it, they liked it, they enjoyed it. So again, focus on building content that is of value to your visitors. All right, so then how do you kill at content marketing going forward? 3 words: quality, value, authority. Those are the 3 things that you have to do with every piece of content as much as you possibly can. Make sure it's got quality, it's written well, it's got value. Your visitors are going to learn something, or they're going to be able to walk away with something. They're going to take something away with that, and build authority with your content. If you're just writing what everybody else is writing, you're not really going to have any authority built in there, because you're just doing what everybody else is doing. Look for opportunities to stand out. Look for ways to create content in an area or a niche or with an angle or an idea that maybe somebody else isn't quite saying or doing. That's how you get authority, where people they read your content, they say, you know what, I know you know what you're talking about. Now, if they're only reading the same thing, if you're just parroting what other people are saying, okay, yeah, I've read that before, that's nice, and they move on. So you want to make sure that you have value. So how do you kill at web marketing? It's all about the customer. It's about the visitor. It's about the people coming to your site. And since 1998, I started doing SEO, web marketing, and back then it was, hey, give me rankings. We'd create page after page after page, design a rank in search engines, in Alta Vista, Excite, web crawler. They put your rankings up there and it'd be great. Nobody thought about what happened after that. I'm proud to say the industry has changed. We now focus more on the customer than we ever have as web marketers, and it needed to. But the customer is number one. The search engines, they're an avenue to get the customer. But rankings are not a success metric. They're just an avenue to get to that success. You have to focus on the customer. You have to give them what they came looking for. If people come and leave your site without having had anything of value, any type of valuable experience, the chances of them coming back are very, very small. Chances of them converting to a customer are almost non-existent. But if you focus on the customer, focus on their needs, what they want, the information they want to have, that's how you kill at web marketing. That's it for me. Thank you guys. Do you have any questions about any of this? Yeah. Good.
Just on that plugin that you were describing.
Yes.
The customer's journey is something that Google's measuring, right? It's
Yes.
a page dev thing. So if you're cutting off like a button or something that takes you to something else, it's not good.
She's asking if the function link plugin hurts the customer journey, or at least Google's measurement of the customer journey. I would say no, because again, they're not really tracking if you're adding products to a cart or you're socializing something. They're not looking at that action on the page necessarily. They're looking at it, they'll be looking at Twitter and Facebook and things like that, but not the action on the page. So again, but you can misuse that and create that problem. So you just got to be careful about where you're using it. And that's why we call it a function link, because it's not about linking 2 pages that have value. It's about linking, when you're linking a function.
I just would like to hear your opinion on the thin content, especially when you're targeting local cities, and especially when you're actually going against a vendor. So you might be a major vendor or provider in a particular city, but if you wanted to branch out, you have a great content that's ranking really well. It's providing you a lot of organic leads. But when you're going against your competitors, your local competitors, you wanted to use the same content, but you're changing just some variables in that content to account for different locales, right? So how would you do that?
I would say find content that would vary from location to location to location. So we were doing work for a construction company that wanted to have a presence in every city, basically a page. So we're looking at ways to build content for them for each city that wasn't duplicate. Well, one of the things we thought, okay, you know, we could have links to the local hardware stores or links to where you go and get your licenses, you know, the city hall and things like that. So they would be different for each of those different cities and locations. That may not be the best example, but you've got to look for ways to provide information that is specific to the city that's going to still be valuable for the visitor and bring them in to your site. And it can be tricky. It's not always easy.